Okay, so this video is all about the social media channels that we used for the Rotary in the Thames Valley Conference. You'll notice I'm deliberately calling it the Rotary in the Thames Valley Conference, and we'll come to why in a little bit. There are three primary channels for social media: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. In previous years, we've not used Instagram. It's a new channel for this year. As I understand it, the target age range sort of demographic for Instagram is the sort of 18 to 30 bracket age group, which of course is Rotary. Rotarians tend to be on Facebook, and Twitter isn't too popular. There are some Rotary clubs on Twitter, and there also are some Rotarians on Twitter, and obviously Rotary International and Rotary in UK and Ireland have accounts across all three channels. So we kind of made the decision to go with three social media channels, which sounds like quite an ambitious plan at first. With a lot of help from Dave, we formulated a strategy, a content strategy, sort of picking topics that we wanted to cover across between July and March, which is the timeline you're talking about when you're promoting the conference. Because you will launch the conference properly in July, and obviously we're holding our conference in March. If you hold the conference later in the year, you have more time, and so on. But this video is really about how to what sort of tips and tricks I picked up along the way. So let's have a look at the Rotary page. So Facebook is quite complicated, in my opinion. You can do a lot of things, or you can do not a lot. You have the ability to spend money on advertising. So this is where you see the promoted posts on your timeline, and someone's paid money to see that, have that pop up based on location, demographic, that sort of thing, your interests, what you're looking at on Facebook. It all gets ploughed into the Facebook algorithm, as they say, and then it comes out the other end and says, right, you're going to see an advert about a Rotary conference. Whether there's any value in doing that because you're looking to target existing Rotarians primarily, and existing Rotarians in the Thames Valley area, so in District 1090, is debatable. You're not necessarily going to get any delegates signing up to go to conference just off the back of Facebook adverts. What the Rotary conference page does do is allow you to add things like a link to the website. You can post out latest breaking news if you wanted to. We've found that particularly helpful when it's come to COVID and refunds policies and speakers announcements and that sort of thing. So it is very much what you make of it. You can do a lot. You can post videos, you can post photos, yeah, it's and you can pay to boost posts as well. And again, that targets particular users on Facebook. Twitter does the same or similar thing. Shorter message with a graphic. I think you can actually pay for targeted tweets, promoted tweets, as it were, and it's a different kind of audience. We've managed to get ourselves over the 1,000 followers mark on the conference account, which was a milestone for us. We're pushing for the 1090 followers, just for fun, to make a funny joke out of it. That'd be lovely to get there by the conference event itself. We came up with some hashtags, and this allows us to really see what other people are saying about the event. And this comes in particularly handy when you're curating content from other people. So have a look at the created content versus curated content article in the knowledge base if you want to understand what I mean by that. And this is really from what Dave was saying about that sort of thing. Hashtags are very, very good on Twitter. They're more popular on Twitter than anywhere else, really. Instagram uses it as well. A lot of people post with a lot of hashtags on Instagram. We've used two. You can use as many as you want, or as few as you want. It's up to you. Yeah, as I say, we've broken the 1,000 followers milestone, which is very, very good. On Instagram, we are more active than we've ever been in previous years. We managed to get ourselves up to 175 followers, which is amazing. There are Rotaract clubs primarily, Rotaractors, potentially Interactors, maybe it's a little bit old for them, on Instagram. And the key here is it's all about pictures or videos, posting images when you post on the social media channel itself. So this very nicely brings me onto the tool that we've been using to post across all 3 channels, because you might be thinking, 3 social media channels, 3 different styles, 3 different word lengths, character sizes, pictures, frames, all that sort of thing. It's going to be a nightmare to manage. Yeah, it could be a nightmare to manage. But I've been using a tool called Hootsuite, which allows you to post across all 3 channels in one go. And it's quite easy to use. So if I were to go to here and I'll say, for example, so I wanted to post some content here. So if I say, you can schedule content, or you can just post it as and when you want. This doesn't appear to be working properly. There we go. A little bit slow stuff this evening. So what was quite useful, what we sort of did in preparation for the social media posts, for each of our speakers, for each of our event sponsors, for each of our Rotary Village exhibitors, we went through and we searched for their social media handles, and we liked them on Facebook, we followed them on Twitter, and we followed them on Instagram. And that allowed us to build our network of followers and likes and so on up, and it also allows you to mention the particular party or company or person in your posts. So and this will vary, it'll probably vary for each of the channels involved. Yeah, so here we have the new post options, and as you can see from the drop down, hopefully, here we go. So as you can see, I've filled out the drop down here, selecting all the these are all pre-connected to this account for all the Rotary social media accounts. So what we've done across all 3 channels, and it's probably worth mentioning that this makes life a lot easier, is we've made the handle, so what we see here, Rotary D1090 Conf, that is the same across all 3 channels. So you only have to post it once, and you can have all 3 logos or icons for the channels, one handle across all 3, which is quite nifty. I was quite happy about that when we were able to change it. I sort of took a gamble, and it worked out, and it looks pretty good. So on the left-hand side here, when this drop-down disappears, there we go, you'll see how to add your content. You can add the initial content here, and it sort of allows you to just type in what you want. It then gets previewed on the right-hand side here, as it would be on a particular network, and then you can switch between the 3 different social media networks to see exactly how it might look, a preview of the post, and so on. And it also gives you a character limit here, which is quite handy, especially with Twitter. You've only got 280 characters, and Insta you have, I think it's 300 and something. No, 2,200. So a little bit more flexibility on Instagram and Facebook. Unsurprising, they're all part of the same company. And 220 to 280 characters on the Twitter. It's just something to bear in mind when you're posting. One thing we've always used is consistency. We always have text. We always have a link back to our website. Generally, we always have an image, and we always use the hashtags for the events. If you follow that general guideline, the content will be pretty solid. This tool, this Hootsuite, does allow you to schedule posts. So it's currently Sunday evening for myself. I can schedule posts if I hop out Just a second, let me just move this one down, come back out of here. If I hop out of here, you'll see there are some posts scheduled for Tuesday morning. Scroll down a bit. See them here. So you can plan out a month's worth of content if you have a particular time. If you've got some spare time in a particular block, maybe an afternoon or an evening or something like that, you can plan out an entire month's worth of content if you wanted to. This comes in quite handy when you have. We run a little campaign on social media. I think we did it for the Rotary Village, and we've done it for our entertainment on the Friday night. So we've done profiles of all of our exhibitors, who's exhibiting, or an initial announcement about who the exhibitors are in the Rotary Village. We've also done a campaign around the theatre event on the Friday evening, so a little bit about the production company, a little bit of information about the plays at the time. It was changed since, but it's gone out, and a little bit of information about the cast, and then something about the writer and the team behind the event itself, and then about the lovely people, Climatarian Kitchen, who are providing the catering on the Friday night. So it's very much what you make of it, but it allows you to you can plan those posts, and the publisher will make recommendations around the particular times that are popular on the channels. So you'll see here recommended time 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m. So on particular days of the week. So this is where your particular channel is, where Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever it might be is particularly popular. People are looking at your page, looking at your profiles and that sort of stuff. Or they're searching for Oxford 22, or they're searching for Rotary Doing Good, or whatever it might be. So yeah, brings it in very handy. Allows you to forward book your content, so you're not constantly having to do things at the time across 3 individual channels. You can post in one go, one button, it's gone. It allows you to mention the various people that you're talking about, so your sponsors, your exhibitors for the Rotary Village, your speakers, whatever it might be, and you can link back to your website, to the pages on your website, so that drives the traffic back to your website, and allows people to see, okay, we want to draw people into the website, and they look at the rest of the website, they look at the rest of the content, and they go, yep, I'm going to register as a delegate, and I'm going to sign up for this. So that's the social media channels. I think I've covered everything that I've knew. Obviously, credentials and so on will be shared once we've done that. We'll do a handover. The Facebook is a slightly different matter, because you need to be on Facebook yourself to be an admin of another page, and I think the same is said of no, not the same is said of Instagram. So it's just Facebook. So you need to be on Facebook yourself to become an editor or an admin of the conference page, because this is a page rather than an actual individual's profile. But other than that, as long as you're familiar with social media, one other thing to bear in mind is that you are posting on behalf of the event. So the tone of your content, the messaging needs to be very clear. You need to be very careful that you don't do send something out personally. Anything could be misinterpreted as rude or anything like that. Just sort of be, when you're using if you have it hooked up on your phone, it's quite easy to end up sending a post on behalf of the conference when you intended to send it on behalf of yourself. If you have one of many pages that you manage, just be conscious of what you're doing and who you're sending it as. Same with tweets and Instagram posts. You can be getting in a little bit of trouble for that one. But other than that, enjoy, and hopefully Hootsuite is you're able to use that for the next events. I'll probably look at making that quite general, making the credentials Rotary 1090. I'm using my own personal credentials at the moment, but I'll have a look at making them 1090conference.org related. But yeah, that's it. Thanks very much.